Welcome to the Supermate 64 podcast, where we talk about all of the lovely Nintendo news that just honestly keeps on coming in. Honestly, it really doesn't stop, does it? I am your host, Pikachu, and I am joined by co-host Mr. Spudling, the Potato Man.
Hello.
I don't know what your
Hello
name
there.
is. How you doing?
I'm very well. I'm very well.
I guess we call you Spudling.
You can call me whatever you like.
We'll just be like, just hey, Potato.
Yeah, it's had many variations over the years.
Wow, it sounds delicious, so we'll go with that. All right, so yeah, we've got a pretty bumper debut episode for you all today. Plenty of exciting things to talk about, and a lot of releases as well. A release which actually came out just yesterday. Do you want to start with that as the topic, or?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Depending on when this actually releases, yesterday would be the 12th of February, so
Yep.
the Thursday. So this was for Mario Tennis Fever for the
Yeah.
Switch 2.
And how much of it have you played so far?
I have put a surprising amount. I didn't expect for me to go this in depth into it so soon. I thought this was just going to be a bit of a slow burn over the last for the next few weeks, essentially. But definitely lots of pros and a few cons here and there, as you could imagine. Very, very surprised with it though.
Yeah, it's developed by the original developers, isn't it? Isn't it Camelot? Camelot or something?
Yes,
Yeah, the same people that made the original ones. So it's
yes,
good to see they're still
but
making it.
yeah, from the very get go, you open up the menu, you have all of your modes unlocked from the start.
Yep.
However, not all of your characters or your different rackets and abilities or different arenas unlocked.
Yep.
So you can still do everything from the beginning, just not with all the characters you might like or in the backgrounds and backdrops that you'll probably prefer.
So which character did you start playing with?
Well, the story,
Yeah.
obviously, it won't be too much of a spoiler. It's a tennis campaign, so I'm
Yeah.
really not sure if
Do you
anyone's gonna.
play tennis? Oh my god, spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Well, it starts off with, for some reason, Daisy being really sick and essentially on her
Oh.
deathbed.
Oh,
So,
okay. So
so
good.
this is one of the.
Because we all hate Daisy. Does anyone that actually like Daisy? Am I the
Oh,
only
oh,
Daisy hater?
very controversial.
I know, right? Already we're into the hot takes.
Luigi's gonna have some words.
Right.
But I was just sort
Yeah.
of very surprised. Like the quality of cutscenes
Yeah.
was crazy. But it starts off with obviously Daisy being really sick and you being approached by Wario and Waluigi.
Yeah.
They're actually being sort of been pushed towards you as a duo. So
Oh,
if
okay.
some people are coming into some Nintendo for the first time in the last couple of years, you probably think Wario and Waluigi have always been together as
Yeah.
the anti Mario and Luigi since the beginning, but it's just a weird, strange way they're pushing it.
Are they like the good
They
guys now?
it's sort of they more convince you that here's a special golden apple or special fruit that you can come and collect.
Yeah.
We'll help you find it, and this is going to make Daisy feel better. Lo and behold, obviously it was just a trick, no big surprise,
Yeah.
and turns out they were just there for the treasure. But they steal the treasure, and very Aladdin-like, the whole Cave of Wonders style system turns terrible,
Yeah.
and a bunch of monsters turn everyone into babies.
Has that been done before? Is that I feel like there was another
It
game where you had
sounds it
the baby
sounds
Mario.
vaguely familiar, but for a Mario Tennis campaign, I was confused, but in a way of they've actually put a lot of effort into this for what you'll put in quote unquote just a sports game.
Yeah. Yeah, because I haven't played it yet. But of the trailers that I have seen, the graphics look really good, like really clean. I like how
Yes, very smooth.
they've programmed it that way. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. It's like
Yes,
multiplayer,
that's
right? Is it local or
oh,
online?
absolutely. Yeah, you can do straight away. We'll post a screenshot somewhere, but straight away you can see you've got your game share option, your
Yeah.
local Switch versus Switch, or just your couch co-op, all on the one system. But they've actually got them all separate menus in the start menu
Nice.
from the get go. So it's not like you got to unlock or anything.
Yeah, well, it seems pretty popular so far, so that's good.
Well, I've sort of been agreeing with a lot of people's reviews so far, but in the sense of yes, it's highly rated for what it is, of course.
Yeah.
But one of the more controversial thoughts I was sort of thinking about was whilst it is actually really fun and enjoyable, but why now?
Yeah. The
It
timing is
just
a bit
seems
weird.
really, yeah, very strange timing. But I think that's something we're going to learn over the next few months
Yeah, because
talking on the
isn't it?
podcast of
Yeah,
just how weird Nintendo is with timing.
they are weird. Like sometimes they release things and you're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. They're like planning this for like a holiday release or something. And other times they're just like, do you know what? We have this, just take it. So it feels a bit strange, but yeah, I mean, so that's the biggest release that's come out recently. But the next one, I mean, the one that I comes to my head is I'm actually pretty excited for Pokemon Pokopia. I've been seeing videos about
Oh,
that. Have you seen anything
excellent.
about Pokopia?
I've been keeping up to date as much as I can. However, the most recent gameplay release I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I watched a
It's
couple of
something.
like gameplay reviews, early ones. Um, and honestly, like the first time I saw it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, it's, like there's enough crafting games and stuff out there. But, and I thought the Ditto character looked kind of weird with the face because it's like Ditto, but a human, Ditto pretending to be a human. It's kind of weird. But the more of like of the early trailers I saw, I could see that I think you can play it multiplayer as well. I think you can just have your friends all together and you can wander around and you can craft together as far as I could see, which looks pretty fun. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, like a local co-op, or more just you'll join
I think
someone's
online.
online map.
Yeah, I think online and you join on the same map and then you can like do quests together. I only saw early stuff, but it looked as though like one of the early quests that they did, or missions, I'm not sure what they call them, was to all your friends join in and you all have your own little Ditto avatars and you can wander around. And the first one was like, oh, you got to rebuild a Pokemon Center, so you got to like find items and craft the Pokemon Center. And so that's kind of as far as they had released, but it looked pretty good. I didn't realize that it was that deep. I thought it'd be just be kind of like, I mean, like sometimes Pokemon releases some kind of games which are kind of baby like, or app like games which don't really put that much into it, I think, anyways. But this one might be a little bit deeper than I initially had thought. So
Okay, so would you consider the online multiplayer for this one like a slightly more advanced Animal Crossing style
I think
online?
so. Yeah, yeah, pretty similar to how in Animal Crossing you can wander around the island and do stuff. Um, yeah, I'm not sure how deep it goes, but it did look like you could kind of like destroy blocks and stuff like that together, and so yeah, the graphics look really good as well, because that was the other thing I noticed too. It's not just Game Freak. I think it's Game Freak and Koei Tecmo. Like it's not just one developer this time, as we know Game Freak's a bit funny sometimes. So yeah, but it's a game key card though. The game key card.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I've yet to buy a game key card. How about yourself? Have you got one yet, or?
No, I haven't yet. I've been pretty close to some, but I already realised from downloading a lot of digital games from my Switch 1 plus DLCs,
Yeah.
my memory card was already pretty full up as it was.
Yeah, I know, right?
So then buying some of these, what was something like Final Fantasy, that was eclipsing nearly 100 gigabytes.
Yeah. And that's the
And
first
obviously
game, right?
it's technically nothing. Obviously, 100 gigabytes, obviously, these days, you think's nothing, but I feel like Nintendo's still that tiny bit behind on mass storage.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine a heap of people have got Switches with maybe not even an SD card that's over 100 gig. It depends. Although I think it's like 256 or something, 512. I might have a 512 gig in mine. I forget which size is in there, but yeah, I don't know how. I mean, it's good that these games are coming to the Switch. That's really good to be able to play
Oh,
more,
absolutely.
like 4K games and like higher graphics, because that's been like well overdue. Like people have been asking for that forever, but they haven't really, in typical Nintendo style, they haven't really thought about, okay, yeah, but we need to future proof it storage wise. Like how can they expand the storage, because you think of like PlayStation, like the PlayStation 5, there's a literal dedicated slot that's like molded in a way that like user friendly. You can just pop it off and put another hard drive in. Even if you don't know anything about IT, for the most part, you can pop one in. But I suppose Switch does have a micro SD card, but then it's like, how big can we get the micro SD card? What's the size limit?
Yeah, but also the Express compatibility
Yeah,
needs
that's
that as
right.
well.
Yeah, it's an express one too. So yeah, because I had can imagine a lot of people would have been like, oh, just get a bigger micro SD card and then bring one home and be like, oh, wasted all this money when it doesn't work. That must happen all the time.
I've
Um,
seen a lot of people got unstuck by the Nintendo branded SD cards online, especially
yeah,
the some went on clearance on the Nintendo website prior to the Switch 2's release,
yeah,
which they didn't clarify enough that it wasn't the Express one. So people, oh yeah, I'll buy the 1 terabyte or the 512 gig Animal Crossing branded one or the Mario Star branded one. I'll
yeah.
grab that for the Switch 2, not realizing it's not the Express. It's just a regular
Yeah.
one. It's Nintendo branded for the
And
Switch One.
and then they just resell it on Facebook Marketplace. That's my thinking.
Yes.
See, these are like you see in the listing for like brand new SD card never used, and you're like, I wonder why it hasn't been used. Um, yeah.
I
So
also just realised, sorry, circling back to my comment regarding why now for Mario Tennis Fever.
yeah, yep,
More, I absolutely love Mario Super Sluggers, so the baseball,
yep,
like Mario Baseball on Wii. Absolutely love it.
yeah,
There has been 3 Mario Tennis games since we last got a Mario Baseball.
yeah,
So while yes, Mario Tennis Fever has actually been a great tennis game and a great sports game alone,
yeah.
it's I've been sitting here twiddling my thumbs through the last 15 to 20 Nintendo Directs waiting for Mario Baseball.
You would think they'd make another one because baseball's so popular in Japan. I feel like it might even be more popular than tennis.
Yeah, so that's how it's just I don't know how this like when we first sat and watched the Direct, you heard me react of like, yay, but why?
Yeah, I remember. You were like, "What is going on? I don't want that." Oh, no, it was funny. I think there's a few sports games. I know it was. Do you know what I want? Okay, I might get the name wrong. I've forgotten what it is. I want a remake or a sequel to Mario Dance Dance Revolution. Is Dance Dance Revolution the Mario dancing game on GameCube? That's what I want to
Excellent.
see. Like, where is that Nintendo? Come on. Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, did you have any other topics you'd like to talk about or
I'll keep going on with a bit more in depth. Some more of the con sides of Mario Tennis Fever,
yes. Yep.
where it sort of suffers a little bit in an area that Mario Strikers on Switch sort of suffers from,
Yeah.
where they've put in so much features. If you just want a quick, easy game of tennis, you're probably not going to get that straight up. One of those easy to learn, hard to master. So each character has their own stats.
Yep.
Obviously, yes, very nice and in depth. But when there's about 15 to 20 odd characters not unlocked from the start,
Yeah.
then you've got all your different rackets that have different abilities. You've got different arenas that have different levels of bounce, different levels of curve and wind. There is so much that affects the game. Whereas if you just want to go on, have a quick round of tennis, you get hit with 20 to 30 different options before you even get to starting the game itself.
Is that like a tutorial or something at the beginning or
Oh, yeah, that's all. Like the first probably hour to 2 hours of you doing the tutorials, learning all the different shots and all the like the harder versions of the shots, the softer versions of the shots. Obviously weather effects. The mini games are pretty good at showing you how it works, but as I said with how Mario Strikers sort of fell on Switch a bit was they just added too much in there, whereas people just wanted to muck around in soccer, whereas now they're worrying about, oh, if I pair Mario with Peach on this particular map, I'm going to be able to hit the ball that little bit better into this particular spot, which is going to be easier for me to hit a return. Which you're going, if you're not huge on sports games already, that's going to turn a lot of people away.
yeah, so is it got like I saw the special rackets, is that what you're talking about where each racket has a different power up or something?
Yes, yes. So that's just one part of it. So just say if you use the The fire racket with Mario, that's just your default start.
Yep.
You could go on a grass level and the fire effects will last a little bit longer, or could potentially be a little bit more damaging on an ice map.
Okay,
But
that
instead
makes
of just,
sense.
but just so Mario can run from one end of the court to the other, just say in maybe 2 seconds.
Hmm.
But then you're gonna have characters that can do it in one, or then you're gonna have the larger characters like Bowser that are gonna be much slower.
Oh, I'm
So
definitely
instead
going to
of,
use Bowser. He would be my main.
I'm keen. I'll actually unlock Dry Bowser, but I've got to look into it. It's a very particular challenge. I think something to do with one of the challenge towers. And
Yeah.
yes, this tennis game has challenge towers. So I'm yet to try them. So I'm
Nice.
a few hours into the campaign, but that's probably about it so far. I'm excited to continue the rest.
Yeah, nice. I didn't realize that it had a little kind of an RPG story behind it. I really expected it to just be play a tennis match and that's it. So, yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
far from it.
It's good that they're doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. If there was one, going back to your key cards though,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there a certain criteria that would help, like that will convince you more key cards? Like, what is your pros and cons with key cards?
I think, I mean, look, with Final Fantasy VII Remake being over 100 gig, that being a game key card, I understand why. Like it's 100 gig, that's kind of expensive to pay that extra for the developer to have a game key card that has that storage space. But for some of the games, like the new Dragon Quest that came out, I'm pretty sure that game is only like 7 gig, or it says on the box it needs 7 gig to download. And that's what I'm thinking, kind of like, come on, that's not that's not that much storage. Surely you could just put, a normal game card for that amount of space, because that's not a heap of storage. And also, Pokopia I saw today, I reckon Pokopia is only 10 gig or around that. So that feels a little bit cheap. Though,
Considering, is this
yeah,
also published? So, is this a Nintendo published? Just have a quick look.
yeah, I'm not sure if I've got the sizes right. I just on the box cut on the boxes it says it needs X amount of gigs downloaded. So it could be either how much minimum it needs to download to play, or it could mean it's the whole game. I'm not sure. But either way, anything that's like less than 10 gig, because even some indie games, and maybe if it's an indie developer, I understand, but I've also seen games from Square Enix, which I know are like really tiny games, and they're just like, game key card, because it's cheap, it feels really cheap.
Yeah, it's still so confusing, especially for Pokemon, that
Yeah.
Nintendo and or the Pokemon Company are opting for this.
Hmm.
It's something that I'm still bewildered at this particular game key card.
Yeah, it's a bit of a
Something's
strange choice, especially for Pokemon games. I think it's the first one. Really, it
uh,
would be.
to a degree, but do you just sort of only like not worry about it and have it digital?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's kind of like in the end, you just go, well, I may as well just get the digital version because then I don't have to carry the thing around with me. I think it depends. It depends what game it is. Um, I mean, yeah, if it's a game that I really am looking forward to, really care about, maybe a Splatoon game or something that's a game key card. I don't know. I guess I would
Oh
just cave in
yeah.
and buy it. I probably would just cave in and buy it just to have the box. Um, but also as well in Australia, I have noticed like digital games. I mean, you'd know yourself. Digital games when they're released are a lot more expensive digitally than physically, and Pokopia is one of them as well. I've noticed that I think it's like 110 or 120 Australian on the store, and it's like physical. Even though the physical is a game key card, that's like $80 or $90 retail. So I might cave and get it for Pokopia, just to have something. Um, yeah, it's not. I don't really have a solution for it, and I don't really like it, but I may cave and just get it.
Feel like it's one of those scenarios where it doesn't matter how many people don't get it. It's just I feel like it's a decision they've made, and it's a like stiff bickies with it. Like take it or leave it. If you don't
Yeah,
want it, don't get it. Then, and obviously, then a lot of people will just end up missing it anyway.
it does feel a little bit like that. They're like, "This is what you get. no choice. Even though I do remember shortly after the Switch 2's release, so about June or July, I remember getting an email with a survey from Nintendo. I know how they send it out to your account or whatever. And I
Oh yes.
remember, yeah, you might have got it as well. There was an email that was a survey about Game Key cards, like direct from Nintendo. So, they're like researching the response to it. So, I didn't say I hated it, but I did say in the survey that I wasn't fond of it. And I feel like a lot of people have. But since then, I guess it's like, yeah, over 6 months since that time, they've just been like, well, we're doing it anyway. So, yeah.
I think it would be quite funny if the like obviously a very polite way of saying you're not fond of it. Can you imagine if they're like, oh, they're not a fan of it, but I still feel like we could push this on them. So is it in those bulk surveys were we not stern enough?
It could be that. Yeah, there must be another reason for it, though. Like all we can do is assume that the game key card was an option that they were trying to offer to as an alternative. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's theories about why the game card system exists. Um, like for games that are huge and developers don't want to pay to have more space on their game key card, and it's cheaper for them, which then developers go, well, that's good. I want to bring my game to the Switch too because it's cheaper. Um, yeah, I'm not really, don't really. No, but I think it is here to stay. I do agree with that, whether we like it or not. I mean, there's plenty of things that, Nintendo fans don't really like. I mean, remember when the announcement for the pricing of Mario Kart came out? That didn't go down well.
Yes. But
No.
sort of felt like it started a new precedence as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're both Australian, so I don't know if you found it a bit amusing like I did, because there was a lot of uproar online about it's $80, it's $80 USD, and I'm just like, it's 120 Australian. you know, I felt that, but yeah, but I mean, it's still the same thing. It's just the currency conversion, but yeah, it's like I wish it was $80 Australian.
Oh,
That would be
absolutely.
great, but
That would take us back 5+ years
I know, right?
just in pricing alone.
I still remember the days of having $50 and going and buying a DS game for $50. Even then, I was like, that's so expensive. But Nintendo made that choice to put it at that price. And they were like, well, they're probably thinking, well, you're going to buy it anyways. It's Mario Kart. Of course, you're going to buy it. And the result is everyone did. So, yeah, I don't know.
But I'll be curious to know how many people picked up the Switch without Mario Kart. Obviously, there will definitely be plenty out there,
I think
but just
yeah.
interested to hear from them.
Yeah, I think I do believe it was a really, really smart decision for Nintendo to be like, hey, what's the number one most selling game on the Switch? Oh, it's Mario Kart 8, because Mario Kart 8 is still really high and really popular still. People still buy it. And then they obviously were like, well, we've got to have a big hitter game for when the console comes out, because they learnt that also as well. Like with the Wii U into the Switch era into the Switch 2, they knew that they had to have big hitter. So it does make sense. Yeah, yeah. When the Switch, people not buying Mario Kart when they bought the Switch. Why would you buy the Switch? Especially if you're like getting it for your family member or something. Yeah, I feel like a lot. I mean, that's why they did the pack-in version. They were kind of like, well, you got to have something, you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
although
so many different versions as well.
yeah, there was a lot of different versions. Um, I was a bit disappointed that I didn't get the actual case, because I got the Switch 2 with the download code. Um,
Oh, you got it digitally.
yeah, which is fine because I like Mario Kart a lot, but it's I'm more of a Zelda and Pokemon person really. So I was like, of course I'm going to get Mario Kart, but I don't know how much I'll play it. So I was like, I'll just get the digital download. Will do for me now. um, but yeah, but that's it.
I was,
The box of Mario Kart World is so good. I love that box art.
I was, yeah, I was almost silly enough that when Switch 2 first came out, that I was switching between various games I was still playing on the Switch 1 that I had physical,
Yeah.
that I was almost lazy enough to buy the digital of Mario Kart World anyway, knowing full well I was going to be constantly chopping and changing between carts.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. I was like, if there's any game I want a digital one where it's always on my Switch too, it's Mario Kart, because I don't want to carry the cart for that. So Yeah, some games are like that. But yeah, with the Switch One, that's the other thing that I've noticed as well. With I mean, every country would be a little bit different, but with the box art for the Switch Two games, what is with that text at the bottom? Where it's like, this software is only compatible with the Switch 2, blah, 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 warning, warning, warning. And it's like, it takes up almost half of the box art. And then when you compare it to
Oh,
like,
all of them.
yeah, on all of them. And then we've got a, huge classification as well. Like, why does Australia have like the biggest, age classification art ever? Like, it's, I don't know, but there's nothing you can do about that, I suppose. But I do find that, it does take away a little bit from the box art. And you look at the Switch One version, you're like, wow, this is the same game and it looks so much better. So,
Well, what I've resorted to doing for the remainder of the Switch titles that are going to obviously have Switch 2 releases is a good example, Metroid. So
yeah.
when Prime 4 finally, I bought the Switch 1 version and then just got the digital upgrade because the artwork is just much more standardized. You don't have the big block at the bottom as you've just described saying this is the Switch 2 edition, this is the rating for it, and here's a bunch of dribble on how this is only for the Switch 2 and it's only going to work on that,
Yeah,
which we're going to get for the rest of it.
yeah, the box art for the Switch One version of Metroid, it does look so much better. It's like the crystal case, as some people were calling it. Yeah, I understand why you did that. When it's that that game that you just I love this, I love this series, whether it's a Zelda or a Mario, whatever. It makes sense. You're like, oh, I'll get the Switch One version. I'll buy the upgrade so I can have the better looking box. I understand. I feel like a lot of collectors would do that as well.
Oh yeah, we'll put a side by side up of it a bit afterwards, and I'm just looking at one now, and it's just clean, crisp. You've got your game there, whereas the whole bottom half of it is all just dribble. Some of it's cut off by the. I get why they've got the red Switch 2 part of it because it's sort of how they differentiate between like when they did DS and 3DS to make sure you don't mix them up. You can obviously see it's a Switch 2 game, but it is getting a little old seeing at the bottom of every single Switch 2 edition under the game that you've just got that big block of text, like blocking a sizable percentage.
I mean,
The
like,
QR code, the rating.
isn't it obvious that it's a Switch Two game? I mean, it's a red box. Like, we know, even kids are gonna know that this game is for the Switch Two and not for the Switch One. Probably more so than the parents, really. So I don't know. It's very, it's very Nintendo, very Japanese company kind of style to be like, but just put the warnings on there anyway. You never know. Someone might not.
There still will be people definitely getting confused between them, can
You
guarantee.
you reckon? I mean, look, I can't say for everyone, but surely if the kid is like, "Hey, mum, I want to Switch too." Although I suppose back in the day, parents would be like, "Give me a Nintendo," and the kid actually wants like a PlayStation or something.
They're all Nintendos.
That's it. They're all
Those darn
Nintendo.
game systems.
There's darn Nintendos. Even the Xboxes.
Well, controversial take. I probably would have preferred, instead of it being Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Nintendo Switch 2 Edition block of text, I would have preferred it flipped. So you
Yeah.
had all of that text and stuff on the Switch 1 version, because you would think that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Switch 2 Edition would be the definitive one. So that should be the one that's crisper, cleaner. That's the one you go straight for.
Yeah, because it's got the better graphics. You think that you put that on there? Yeah, it's such a long title, but game title, blah 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 blah, for the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's a choice. It's a choice that someone made.
It's a very first world problem we're definitely complaining about, that's for sure. And obviously
100%.
keep
Yeah.
trying to keep that in mind. Trying to.
Elsewhere, but as a collector, these little things people care about them. Like you put if they want to charge 100+ Australian dollars for something, I want the box art to be pretty. It's the small things.
It wouldn't be the same if we didn't nitpick it anyway. I feel like it's our job to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Complain about everything until they get it right. uh,
It never will, but it's some
yeah.
it's a never-ending goal. We'll never be pleased. We'll never be happy. But it's that whole. It's not the destination. It's about the journey and the friends we made along the way,
Yeah,
and all the arguments we caused along it too.
and the feeling of putting a game in a shelf and then never having time to play for it anyways. uh,
Oh, that'll definitely be a topic for another time. That's for sure.
yeah, absolutely. So, what else have we got to look forward to in the next few weeks or in
It
February?
is probably one of the bigger next few weeks for Nintendo than we're going to have for the bigger part of the year, actually. Very
Yeah.
exciting. So we've got Virtual Boy coming out for the NSO next week.
Oh, yeah. It's coming.
So a fair few games going to be coming. Like, a lot of people are going to be experiencing that for the first time, like
In,
a
in,
very big sizable percentage.
including me, I kind of don't have that much experience with the Virtual Boy, so I'm keen to try those games out.
I was lucky enough that on a trip to Japan, I was able boxed one, and I could not pass it up, could not refuse. It was
Yeah.
I had no power over it. It was clearly buying this just to try it.
Was your
I
whole
somewhat enjoyed it. I completely and solely understand how a lot of people were getting sick and woozy and didn't quite understand the system yet. Still confused as to why they're bringing it back out. But I just wish they had the proper Virtual Boy controller with it, like they've done with all the other NSO
Yeah, it's interesting
consoles they put on.
that they didn't add that to the overall Virtual Boy package that they put on there. They kind of just built the headset and were like, that's enough.
Well, because technically, that's I was a little confused on how they worded it in the direct, but it seems like the either the cardboard version or the stand itself is the only way to play it. And if that's the case, then a lot of people, a lot of the reasons that people didn't like the Virtual Boy in the first place is what they're sort of cramming down everyone's throats again.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice. I mean, Nintendo's always known for trying, interesting and new things, that's sometimes they're successful and sometimes they're not. The Virtual Boy is it I mean, I don't know the full history of Virtual Boy. Did it ever leave Japan or was it a Japan only exclusive?
Oh, it had some it released worldwide. I'll just quickly get up where it released. There was some American versions because there was a couple American only games released. There was a few there.
Yeah, yeah. So it definitely would have gotten, I guess you call it North American release. I don't know about Australia though. We didn't get much back in the day. Nintendo pretended we didn't exist.
Okay, a quick look into it. So yeah, it had its initial release in Japan July 21st, 1995,
Yep.
and North American release August 14th, 1995. But you can
Yeah.
imagine by them selling under 1 million units globally, it never actually got a power release.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's like they were kind of in that time where they were kind of testing things out. And unless it was really successful, I think, getting it to Australia was probably just such a huge either shipping or manufacturing difficult problem. So, we it's yeah, that's why POW I mean we could talk about that another time, but that's why I've always theorized that POW games, especially the older ones, are so in short supply and so much rarer because they didn't make many of them back then, so not many of them are around. But yeah, that's a bit of a tangent. We could do another
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
But yeah, so back to the Virtual Boy. I think the only time I've ever played some Virtual Boy is on a visit to Japan in one of the retro game stores where they had it on display. I think that was the first time I ever tried it. So I can't say I've had much of an experience with it. I could see pretty quickly how people complained about getting headaches and stuff. Because the bright red, bright red for the lights was an interesting choice, but I guess maybe they were thinking Nintendo's red. But yeah, so I've only played a couple of those games. But yeah, I'm pretty keen to just see what the library was because I can't really tell you what games were released on there because I've never really seen them. But yeah, I'm happy to play it without the headaches, though, honestly.
Yes, or our main Wario Land will be releasing with it. So it's one of the
Yeah.
special niche ones that obviously you can't just play on a Game Boy or a Wii. It's never been re-released. It's only been on the Virtual Boy. It's going to be the only way to play it properly.
Yeah. So was that not released? Is that what you mean?
Oh,
Or
it was certainly released, but obviously there's other means to access various games,
yeah.
and that various companies will be very upset
Yeah.
with.
Nintendo's favorite thing.
Oh,
They'd much rather sell
we
it
should,
to us. Yeah.
we must not speak of the big E word.
I know, right? Sacrilege.
And then, well, straight after the Virtual Boy, the week after that, we are waiting for the big 30th anniversary for Pokemon. So we've got the big
Yes.
Pokemon Presents that we are hanging on for, and we're
I'm
actually really
so
excited to do
excited. Oh
try
man.
and do a live version of us reacting to the direct all the announcements and
Yeah, 100%. I'll try not to scream too much because I get very excited sometimes. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it'll be something big. I think everyone is hoping that it's going to be something big because it's the 30th anniversary, and they teased Fat Pikachu, Chubby Chew, whatever they call it, and that's like, oh yeah, that's the OG, the Game Boy days we want, because so many people are talking about. I mean, it happens every Pokemon presents. Really, they just want the original games. I think it's Fire Red and Leaf Green. People are all talking about like going, is it coming? Is it coming? Is it going to come? I mean, I don't think it's to the Virtual Console. People are talking about. I think people are expecting it to be like a standalone game or something.
well, best case scenario will definitely be standalone releases that people can just purchase and keep on their consoles.
I mean, they did it with the 3DS. Not actually, I don't think they did it with Fire Red and Leaf Green, but they did do it with red, blue, yellow, and crystal and silver and gold. So if
And
they've
they were
done
top
it,
selling on the 3DS for until they closed the servers.
yeah, they were like I think like when the servers were being shut down, they were like the top games that people were like kind of stocking up on buying because all the trade functionality was working as well.
Oh, you'd
So
be
I mean,
crazy not to.
yeah, I mean, if they've done it before. Can they do it again? I hope they do. So I
I'm
can
just
buy
so
the game
scared.
again. No.
I'm just so scared I've overhyped myself with it to a point where if it's not an 11 out of 10 left field announcement that none of us were expecting, and it's going to be so amazing, I'm just going to be disappointed either way. So I think that's on me. That's my fault. I've set myself up for disappointment.
It's really
But also,
hard.
there's
Yeah.
there's been times where like, oh yeah, quick, oh Pokemon Presents or cool presentation from Pokemon. This is going to be great, and it's just been all app updates and new events and oh, there's a new puzzle out now. This is our big announcement. I'm like, oh, this is what you built us up for a month for. Excellent.
I mean, it's so easy to just get swept away in the hype. Because the Pokemon hype, when it hits, it goes crazy.
And it doesn't stop.
It's just and you see like everyone's going, oh, they're gonna pack all the games in together and they'll release all of them on a physical Switch edition. You're just going, just don't stop dreaming. We love your dreams. Like
And one
yeah,
screenshot from a semi reliable source
yeah,
sends people into a frenzy.
really does. Just a random Twitter post, and they're all like, "It's a Pokemon leak." So,
And everyone, then it starts, then you get even the larger gaming journos, they start posting about it too, and then it starts to actually seem a little bit more legit than expected. So you're like, oh, maybe this could actually be real. And then for, I would like to say, the 10th year straight, I have been let down.
no, it's just every time they were like, "It's gonna happen," and then you're like, I know it didn't," and they were like, "Oh, it's the 30th now." But yeah, so I guess temper your expectations, but there has to be something. They got to give us something for the 30th anniversary. There's got to be even just a tip off to the Gen Oneers or whatever, the OG, because that's just what's popular, like people. There are a lot of people that like the newer games, but I just think there's even yeah, I don't know. It sounds like one of the biggest franchises, bigger franchises. So, got to be something good. They got to give us a treat. We're overdue for a nice treat of some sort, and also the new game as well. Surely something. Is it Gen 10 we're up to now?
We are up to 10 now, yes.
Yeah, they're gonna
Will
tease
be.
it. Maybe a tease?
I reckon we'll definitely get a tease, but then once again, I'm just scared I'm hyping myself up and
I don't know.
I'm setting my own expectations only to let myself down because it didn't exactly match what I was after. But that's always a me thing. That's not their problem.
I mean, let's just be real. If it's confirmed to be like 30 minutes, for example, then we'll be like, okay, 20 minutes of this is going to be app games. That last 10
App
minutes
releases.
is going to be the good bit, you know? So that just be ready for that. I'm pretty sure that'll happen.
It's one thing that I am dreading, and I know it's inevitable, but more limited time events.
Oh man, this is just brutal.
Because the amount of I've got a job, I've got responsibilities,
Right.
and when it's off for just this 48-hour period only, most of the time it won't be that bad, but it's just, it puts that fear in you of if I don't do this straight away and I miss out, this won't ever be complete.
Yeah, because you've like you're hardcore into the getting the complete collection because your Pokemon Home is filled, isn't it?
Start to finish, yes, and what is crippling me at the moment is waiting for each month's Mega Stones to be released in the ranked battle for Legend ZA at the moment. We've only got
Yes.
one. We've only got one left currently, but I feel like there's going to be a few new megas announced at the Pokemon Presents, and then that means if there's new megas, there's going to be new Mega Stones. And if there's new Mega Stones, you're going to have to wait each month for them to release those Mega Stones in ranked battle mode.
I think you're at the point if you didn't get them all and you missed one of them, I think I'd be the most disappointed in you, honestly.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I've hyped it up so much. I give you so much grief of, oh, I finished this. Yeah, and you're like, it's been 2 days.
Right. How you play things as fast as you do, I have no idea. I'm probably just slow. Just my
That did.
style.
I'll blame everyone but myself.
I mean that's why Pokopia is appealing to me. I'm like, I just need slow.
Until it's got a similar style to Animal Crossing, where I'm the one that time travels 100 days,
Oh
and you've
yeah.
gone a full 24-hour period of waiting for the next day. And I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
done. Yeah, yeah, like, sorry, what?
Yeah, you're gonna be like, hey, this and this happens, and I'll be like, what? I haven't finished the tutorial. That's
Yeah,
my
oh,
gaming
I'm at
wait.
Christmas time. But it's January.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's gonna happen. I'm just gonna not talk to you during that time because I would be like, I don't want any spoilers.
I could be good with spoilers, but does not stop me from giving you grief about progression and making sure you're matching how far I am. I'll make it your problem regardless.
I can get another game that I can tell you later that I never finished because I feel like I'm always telling you. You're like, how's that game? I'm like, yeah, I haven't finished that. I never
Oh, I
finished.
haven't played that in weeks. I'm like, oh dear.
And then just
So once all these
randomly,
Pokemon games,
just randomly, I'll pick up like a really old game and be like, hey, I'm actually going to finish this now. And you're like, what? 5-year old game? It's on the list. My pile of shame. I chip away at it day by day, month by month.
so I still don't believe you saying that you're chipping away at it because I feel like it's actually growing.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm chipping away at it, but it's about to tumble all over.
Chipping away at it with a blunt little mining rock.
I'm just like banging my head against it at this point, just like stop, stop.
Well, once these Pokemon games get announced, you've got from the announcement to the release to finish. Oh, probably it would be a bit harsh to say the rest of your pile of shame, but anything that you've currently started.
Yeah,
I know I bought games that have just sat there for 6 months that I hadn't even started yet. They're still in that list. But if you've started something, these Pokemon games get announced, they're on a timer before they're never touched again.
I just start them all. I start them all. I do 10 hours, and I'm like, that's enough.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's my attention span for you. And if they're a Pokemon game, you can just trade me all of the ones in your Pokemon Home. Then I don't have to do anything. You can do it for me. Done. So yeah, do we have any other predictions for the Pokemon Presents, or I think we've pretty much covered it.
I'm too scared to even mention predictions. I just know there's going to be a couple things I'm like, yes, I'm really excited for. There'll be a chunk of um, app updates. That's inevitable. They've got so many on the go at the moment. It's you just got to have to accept it's going to be a part of life for the next 5-10 years.
Yeah,
But just
there's a
some
lot of
sort
them.
of like Gens 1 to 3 nod at least. I wouldn't even mind. We're up to a Gen 5 remake. We due for? We've already had remakes from Gens 1 to 4 over the last from end of 3DS life cycle to where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah. Hoping for something. We'll see. We'll see how excited we are when we're watching it. I'm sure it'll be like, hurry up, get to the good stuff. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think
Very nerve wracking.
yeah, I think we've pretty much covered everything we want to talk about today, unless I've missed anything. Or
Well, yeah, we've covered our topics. We've derailed plenty. I feel like we've actually derailed more than we actually spoke about our topics, but I don't think there will ever be a single podcast at the very beginning as well in its life cycle that doesn't sidetrack more than the actual topic at hand.
nah, why would we follow things? We just
Oh,
go
of
with the
course.
flow.
Or
Whatever.
the flow takes us. We get swept up in the storm and we're struggling to keep our heads above water.
That's it. We'll call this podcast. We just talk about whatever we like. Podcast. Um,
With whatever we're meant to be talking about in the title.
and then we might refer to it, and then talk about something else, and then go back to it again, keeping you guessing the whole time.
A plan. We'll add it to the business model.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you everyone so much for listening. We appreciate it if you got this far. This is our debut episode, so we are still learning, but we appreciate everything, your attention, and we'll hope to be talking to you guys again once Pokemon Presents comes out in a few weeks.
And from my end, if you've made it this far, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We are still we are trying our best.
We're doing our best.
Upset. Obviously, we're always open to anything. If there's something we can do much better, obviously, yeah, just let us know.
Yeah,
We're always willing to
100%.
try. But if there's something that you disagree with or agree with, please, please, please reach out, comment. We'd love to hear everyone's opinions on the matters, and
Yeah.
but for the most part, healthily debate the topics at hand.
Yeah, and the comments will all just be about fire red, leaf green, and we welcome that because we want to hear about we want to hear your predictions as well. 100%. All right, yeah. So thank you very much for joining us on the Supermate 64 podcast, and we'll talk to you again next time. Bye bye.
See ya.